Hello, I'm Tom Meeks, and this is 3D Design for Fun and Life, featuring Moment of Inspiration, using the uniquely easy noun and verb method.
This session is ARC, noun group.
When we say that we use a noun and verb method, we mean that we combine objects, nouns, with actions, verbs, to create 3D designs that can be 3D printed. The first menu pad contains all of the nouns we will use in Moment of Inspiration. Menu pad 1 has 2 tabs. The first is labeled Draw Curve. This is where we find our 2D nouns. If we click on Draw Curve, the menu pad expands to reveal buttons for accessing 8 2D drawing groups. Group 6 is Arc. There are 4 ways of making arcs: center arc, cont or continue, 3 points, and tan or tangent. The center arc. When we click on the center arc button, a prompt appears that says Pick Center of Arc. We can choose any point in the view window. When we select the center of our arc, the prompt changes to Pick Start of Arc. We select a new point in the view window, and the prompt changes to Pick End of Arc. We can use the mouse or enter a value into either the angle or length fields in the arc dialog box. Positive values move counterclockwise, and negative values move clockwise. A single arc can never create a closed curve. There is one option for the center arc. It is the elliptical checkbox. If this is checked, the only way we can define the arc is by using the mouse. The cont arc, or continue. The cont arc requires that a 2D curve exists. The prompt reads, Pick Start Point near the end of a curve. We will select the end of the existing arc as the start point, and the prompt changes to Pick End Point. We usually use the mouse to pick the end point, and the angle is displayed on the text box labeled Angled. But we can constrain the mouse to a certain angle of rotation by manually entering a value into that same text box. Once constrained, the mouse can only define the length. Clicking the left mouse button finalizes the arc. The 3 points arc. There are 2 styles available for the 3 points arc. Both begin with a prompt to pick the start point. The order of the default style is 1. Pick start point, 2. Pick end point, and 3. Pick point on arc. The order for the alternative style selection is Pick start point, Pick point on arc, Pick end point. All selections are made using the mouse and left button. The tan arc, tangent. The tan arc requires existing curves. The steps are 1. Pick first point on a curve. 2. Pick second point on a curve. 3. Pick radius. We can define the radius with the mouse or by entering a value into either the radius or circum for circumference text boxes. And finally, step 4. Pick piece to keep. We use the mouse to point in the direction of the arc we would like to keep. None of the arcs we created can be 3D printed. They must be joined to other curves to create a closed curve that can be extruded or revolved to form a 3D object that can be 3D printed. Since arcs never create closed curves, it's very difficult to make 3D objects with a single arc. However, you can put arcs together to do some really interesting things. Let's start with the center arc. It says pick center of arc. We'll do that. Then it says pick start of arc. And we'll come around like that. Next, we'll go to the continue arc. We'll continue from this point. We pick the end point, and now we'll come around, and we'll come around to about there. Now we'll pick a 3 points arc. 3 points here and here. Let's see if we can get something that looks like it's continuing out in a good shape. That looks good. We'll come back to the continue. Come down here. All right. And now finally we'll use the tangent arc. We'll select the first point on that curve. The second point will be on that curve. We'll come down and we'll go to this side. Now what we need to do here is we need to trim this arc and this second arc. So what we'll do is we'll click here, go to Edit, Trim, and click on our tangent arc. We'll delete that segment. We'll click here, we'll go to Trim, select our arc, and we'll clean that up. Now what we need to do is we'll need to join all of the arcs together. So we go to Edit, Join, and we'll extrude this 30. We're going to make a interesting shape for a little bowl that we can put things in that'll have a top. So we'll click twice on the object. Let's go to 3D so we can see that. We've clicked twice on the top, and we'll go to Construct Offset. We'll offset 3. We want the wall to be 3. We'll go inwards. We'll use a separate height and go 28 because we have made this 30. And as you can see now, we've cut that out. We made our bowl. Now we need to make the top. Well, the easiest way to make the top is to start right here. Go to the front. We're going to select our curve, and we're going to extrude that minus. We'll extrude that minus 5. And then we'll go to the 3D. Click on the bottom here, and we'll use that same command, offset, but instead of going inwards, we'll go outwards, and we will not use two separate heights, and we'll make it 3.4. We want to be able to make sure that this piece will fit inside the top. So we've got that. Now we will say done, and then click on the bottom, and we're going to chamfer that, and we'll chamfer it 3. There we go. Now the reason we chamfer it is to make sure that it clicks inside, that it's easy to put the top on. We'll go to the front view, we'll select the bottom, and we will say rotate. And now all we have to do is rotate that so that the inside of the top is pointing up. We'll move that over. We'll align this. And what we have now is a shape that has a top and a bottom and makes a little cup that we can put things in that's kind of an interesting shape. Let's get that in here so we can see it. There we go. It's kind of an interesting box, all made with arcs. Cool. This is 3D design for fun and life. 3D design courseware based on Moment of Inspiration by Tom Meeks.
Arc nouns provide us with the capability to build flowing curves for creating organic 3D shapes. But we always have to be careful that we remember that open curve arcs, like open lines, by themselves cannot be 3D printed. We need to make sure the arcs we use have been properly extruded to create 3D objects that can be printed.